Hey, it's Tpok, and I am in a short novel called Ribbon of Green. So let's start it up. I'm sorry for everything. These words are meaningless. No matter how many times I try to say them, ultimately they remain worthless. The more I say them, the more worthless they sound. Diluted, tasteless, just like juicy syrup with too much water. Waiting, waiting, waiting. That's what I'm doing right now, just sitting here and waiting. It's almost pathetic. I can point at myself and laugh at my misery. The wind shoving dirt onto my face is one thing that jolted me back to reality. Reality, the reality that lies here in this old, dilapidated playground. Nighttime. So blissful, so calm, so free. The wind rustles through the leaves. At the edge of the playground, one can hear the soft crissling of an age-worn swing. On the swing sits a girl, who blended in so well with the scenery of the night that one wouldn't have noticed without looking at her directly. Her hands grip the ropes of the old swing, and her neatly combed black hair tousles in the wind. The ropes are cold, but my hands are colder. The tighter my grip on those frayed ropes gets, the more their thin strands dig into the wounds on my hands. Oh yeah, her hands are bleeding. I can feel no pain. Still my lips purse instinctively, and I wince. Letting go slowly, I wipe my cold hands onto my stockings. Thank goodness blood does not show up well on a piece of fabric with a shade as dark as this. My palms continue to bleed. Regret overwhelms me, but for an entirely different reason. If I leave stains on the ground, it's going to be troublesome. Folding my arms on my lap, I sigh. I can barely feel the cold, hard wood that I'm sitting on. Yet in the middle of this abandoned playground, I continue to wait. Speaking of which, when was the last time I've sat on a swing? It must have been a lifetime ago. Back when I was still an innocent, happy child. There was nothing to worry about. No dark future lying in wait for me. No darkness, no pain. Just the calm notes of serenity melting into pure joy. How I miss those days. Now if I abandon the lingering feelings of remorse, I can simply submerge myself into the sweet, sweet nostalgia. After all, there is no future ahead of me anymore. But even then, there is still a past that I continue to cling to. If I do not settle this today, I will feel sorry forever. That's why there is nothing to do but to wait. Here, alone, accompanied by nothing but the desolate, whistling wind. Nighttime. All children have curfews. If you're below 18, your parents would expect you to get home by a certain time. That is normal, after all. Nobody can predict what kind of trouble a youngster can get into at this time of night. Thus, at the sight of this young brunette sprinting her way home at such a late hour, certainly sends many a group of adults clucking their tongues and shaking their heads. She's hardly just trying to get home as fast as possible, though. She slows her pace after passing a horde of beer-drinking older men. When she is certain that she is out of sight from the pointing or gossiping from other people, she lets out a small sigh and continues walking, slowly, deep in thought. You know what? There are two kinds of people I hate most in this world. I dislike hypocrites. I also dislike people who use others. But the funny thing is that I'm both. I guess that's just the kind of person I am, I treat others badly, but I expect to be treated better. Whatever you call it, self-righteous, annoying, that's me. Well, I guess I can't help it now. The girl sighs again, raising a hand to massage her sore neck. The wind is not being very friendly to her hair and clothes either. Thankfully, her practical but plain hair clips keep most of it out of her face, but the tangled mess of chestnut brown hair at the back of her neck hardly feels comfortable. When I first found myself in such a state, I cried. I lamented, I screamed, I cursed everyone in the world. Even though I knew it was all my own damn fault. Yet, time heals. And I realize that I can't possibly look behind after all that has happened. The future looks bleak, but comparing it to the past makes it look even bleaker. Thus, eventually, I shunned away anything that reminds me of my past. That's the kind of coward I am. Still, knowing that I despise the kind of person I am is the only way I can still keep a grasp on reality, even until now. I will never admit that I'm sorry, because I'm this kind of self-righteous idiot who'd rather die than say something like this. Slowly, she approaches the old worn playground. Her glazed eyes show a person who has lost all hope at the tender age of 17. She does not know how long she has been walking. Everything is just routine to her. Nothing about her seems like a girl who is excited at the prospect of reaching home. Darkness reigns. Most children fear darkness at some point. Certainly this girl shouldn't have been any different. Thinking about those days when I was young and scared of the dark makes me really want to grimace. I'm still young and I know it, but right now I feel old and useless. Certainly, half of her life is already gone. I feel like half of my life is already gone. Is that because of the fact I no longer go to school? Now, don't get me wrong, I wasn't expelled or anything. In fact, I was accepted by quite a reputable polytechnic. But I rejected, and with that, I let go of my entire life. In the end, I was really just a coward. I couldn't take hold of my own existence. I didn't want to go to a polytechnic. Throughout my secondary school years, I studied nothing but the intention of going to a good junior college. Failing that, there would be no future. In this society, academic success is all you fight for. Without it, all is lost. She must know that too, as she sways in the wind, as if she could lose her footing any second. Hope, longing, ambition. All is no more.
Now that I think about it, it's my birthday today, isn't it?
I don't know if you guys heard that, but because the music is so loud, but it's actually voiced, I guess. I feel no joy. When I celebrated my birthday last year, what did I feel? I was happy. Just like that guy outside that yelled. I was happy. I celebrated with my family and friends, didn't I? Now that feels like a lifetime ago. It's a strange feeling. Misery, perhaps. She stops dead in her tracks. She looks down, tangled hair worrying, biting her lip in frustration. Angry at herself for being miserable. Angry at herself for being angry at herself. What am I thinking? I must learn to accept. This is the path I've chosen. There's no way I can possibly regret it now after I've come so far. It might not be very pleasant, but I'm gradually learning to get used to it. Working as an assistant at a food stall isn't that bad. Okay, that makes sense now as to why she has an apron. My parents can scream at me as much as they want, but it's fine now. They should have learned to expect something like this before they have come to have such high expectations, ones I could never fulfill. I won't say I'm sorry, because I'm a rotten person like that.
Ignoring an old friend now, are we? That's not very nice, Clarice.
I see her. Sitting on the old wooden swing is a girl my age. Her hair sways in the wind. So does the green ribbon around her collar.
I had a hunch you'd take the long route home. I wasn't wrong.
Her.
You? How are you, Clarice?
My stomach churns when I see Han Yuan. Out of all the people I could have run into on the way home, why does it have to be her? I really don't want to see her right now. As annoyed as I may be feeling right now, I can't help but feel a little uncomfortable. Why? There's something wrong with Han Yuan today. As compared to the usual Han Yuan, she seems a bit distant somehow. Her skin looks pale and malnourished, as compared to the last time I've seen her. There's blood on the hands that are gripping the ropes of the old swing. Her general figure also seems distorted. I avert my eyes, unwilling to ask her about the wounds on her palms. She jumps off the swing and approaches me, a smile as wide as always on her face.
What do you want? That isn't how you greet an old friend.
Well, sorry for not feeling very sociable.
I'm angry. I'm angry at her for trying to look at me. I am angry that she doesn't have better things to do with her life than to talk to someone like me. That is what I feel, but really deep down, I really just don't want to see her. She is my friend from secondary school, and arguably the cause of my giving up. That is why I'd rather be somewhere, anywhere else but here with her.
What are you doing here? It's late. Aren't you at home? Don't you have homework, projects, sleep to catch up on?
Clarice,
You're up to something.
I'm not. I just want to talk to you.
I knew it. I knew she wouldn't give up. I clenched my fists.
Hey, Clarice, why aren't you going to school anymore?
Again and again. Ever since I declared that I would leave, she has been pestering me over and over again. It wasn't that I found her desperate attempts to convince me annoying. It was painful somehow, because I know that she's doing this merely out of sympathy and guilt, and I deserve neither of those. She may think it's her fault, but it's not. It's mine.
It's my fault, isn't it? Back then, we were best friends. Yet I was better than you in everything. I had higher grades, the teachers liked me more. I neglected you. I should have helped, but I didn't. That was why, wasn't it?
Certainly what she says isn't completely wrong. I've always been quite the introvert. Han Yuan was my best friend and my only friend, yet she was in so many ways superior to me. I was angry, jealous, and upset. In the end, she aced her examinations and was accepted into a highly distinguished junior college. Well, what did I get? Nothing.
That's why. You can blame me for everything. I know it's my fault, but I don't want you to lose your entire future because of me.
That's not it.
Eh?
It was my fault. I'm sure Han Yuan knows it too. That's why I don't think I deserve to have Han Yuan put in so much effort to convince me otherwise. I can't remember when, but I know it happened. Once we were best friends. What went wrong? Everything did. We were once real friends, I think. Once we really did care. I did care. But then we slowly drifted apart in that dark and deserted ocean of studies. Both of us wanted to ace everything. However, compared to her, I was lazy, impatient. Thus, instead of as a friend, I ended up treating her as an encyclopedia, a question and answer machine. I forgot about the friendship we used to have. I made no attempt to revive it either.
Hey, Yuan, can I borrow your notes for today?
Of course, take them.
Yuan, can I take a look at your notes?
Sure, take them.
The exam is tomorrow and I haven't studied. Oh gosh, Yuan, can I see your notes? Please?
Sure.
She stopped being my friend and became a mere book in my eyes. I'm sure she was hurting too. Still, I was mindlessly enjoying all the benefits I was getting. I never noticed how hurt and bitter she turned. Finally, I crossed the line and everything came falling down.
Yuan, will the final exam be on mitosis and meiosis?
Eh? Didn't you pay attention in class? Professor Tan told us.
Of course I hadn't listened in class, because Han Yuan would have all the answers.
I guess I must have been sleeping? Tell me, please?
No, of course not. It was tested for the mid-year examination, wasn't it? You can just skip it.
Alright, gotcha.
That day she gave me the wrong answer. I trusted her blindly. She fed me as many lies as I had fed her. I trusted her blindly. And then everything just fell apart. Was I the one who pushed her away? Or was it her? I chose to put the blame on her. Still deep inside my heart, I knew it was me who was in the wrong.
You lied, Han Yuan. Why? Are we friends? That was no joke. It was an examination. How could you do this to me, Han Yuan? How could you?
Aren't we friends? Huh? Was I ever a friend to you?
Those cold words jarred me to the core. Han Yuan's face was distorted with anger, frustration, betrayal, sadness. And when I saw that, I knew what a horrible person I must have become. And then she was gone. I was all alone and I could do nothing. I realized how dependent I was on her. It was absurd. The entrance examinations for tertiary institutions passed in a blur. Without Han Yuan, my results were hopeless. I expected it, but my heart was crushed anyway. She was just too far away now. And I realized just how pathetic I really was.
Clarice,
What?
tell me it isn't true you're rejecting the school's offer. But why?
It's none of your business.
Is it my fault? You can't do this. This is your future, Clarice. You can't just throw it away.
I told you, it's none of your business.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry for but please, don't do this. Don't do this to yourself, Clarice. Clarice, it's not too late, you know. It's not too late for you to go back to school. You can go back to school and get the proper education you deserve, right?
I don't deserve it. You know, I'm a coward. And I'm lazy and I can't make my own decisions.
She's overlapping herself.
Which is why I leave everything to fate. And that was what I did for the national examinations. I left it all to fate. And fate decrees that I have no future. So there's nothing you can do anymore for me, Hanyuan. There's nothing I can do for myself.
All my life I've lived for myself. I was selfish. I have always been selfish. And now, I finally realized I didn't want to hurt anyone anymore.
Fate? Does fate decree that you have no future, Clarice?
Her face suddenly lights up. I have no idea why, but somehow I feel lightheaded.
Let's ask fate then, if you have a future.
I don't quite understand what she means. Anyone holds her palm out, and it is a coin. An ordinary $1 coin. I stare. What is she planning to do?
It's simple. Let's leave it all to fate. Just guess which of my two hands holds the coin.
Oh, I'm saving. How do I save? Ah, save game.
Let's have a test run.
Immediately she tosses the coin into the air and catches it. Smiling, she stretches both hands, both balled into fists.
Which hand is the coin in?
What? You say heads or tails? Anyone can fool me. Ever since secondary school, she's always known that I have very sharp sight. I've always excelled at delicate tasks, while she has always been rather clumsy.
How did you do that?
Well, you shuffled so slowly. I could easily follow your moves.
Still, figuring out that the ace of spades is the card on the top, I was the one who shuffled it, and I can't even do that.
It's a skill, Ewan. It's just something I can do.
Wow, that's really amazing.
I know, right?
Now is not the time to reminisce. Anyone still in front of me, fists outstretched, waiting for me to make my choice. I wasn't really concentrating, but I am positive that the coin is in her right hand. I was pretty sure she caught that coin with the right hand.
Right.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Anyone slowly opens her right hand.
Oops, you got it wrong.
I'm a bit taken aback, because I was pretty sure that she had caught the coin with her right hand. I must have made a mistake. Anyone cheekily opens her left hand to reveal the dollar coin.
See, it was in my left.
I see.
How did she do that?
You were sure you would get it right, weren't you? Now let us try again.
Anyone's face grows serious, and I feel a chill. She is serious.
You said you would leave it to fate. Then promise me, Clarice. I know that you can read my moves, and I know that I could never hide anything from you. But this time, I will show you a miracle. If I do it, Clarice, then it shall mean that fate wants you to continue on your proper path.
So in the end, that's what she wants after all.
Why? Why for me?
Oops, sorry.
Because it's your future. Treasure it. So promise me, Clarice, that if I win another game of coin toss, with you watching my moves as intently as you can, then you will return to school.
Is she seriously hoping that I will reconsider my decision just because for a coin toss. I want to say no and just walk away, but I can't. For some reason, I feel as if she's telling the truth. But since I'm leaving anything to fate anyway, that this should be my decision. I gulp and nod. She smiles. Immediately I begin to regret my choice, because I'm a coward. Hanyuan throws the coin into the air again. I watch intently. I can't lose, because I'm a coward. Everything I see is now in slow motion. The coin soars in a graceful arc and lands in Hanyuan's left hand. I'm absolutely sure. Even more sure than I was just now. Hanyuan extends both fists and watches me, waiting for my answer. Ah. This is what I meant to save for? Yep. I'm gonna go right hand, switch it up.
Right.
What am I doing? My heart throbs. I don't know why I said that. Do I secretly want to go back to school? Or am I worried from the previous round that Hanyuan does have some kind of trick up her sleeve? That's what I was thinking. I do not know. But I picked right after all. Right.
Wrong.
Hanyuan opens her right hand, which is empty, and then she opens her left. I was right all along, and yet, why did I pick the wrong answer on purpose?
I
won, Clarice.
A gentle voice. That wasn't gentle. That was creepy. And her name's Clarice, so it just reminds me of Hannibal Lecter. Not victorious or spiting. Just gentle and a bit hopeful.
So, you promised to embrace your future, right, Clarice?
Her voice is almost begging. To be honest, I never expected her to be serious, but right now, my voice is stuck in my throat, because I am a coward. Accept it.
I promised, didn't I?
My fists are gripped tight. My heart is threatening to burst out of my chest, but somehow Hanyuan has lit a new flame within me. Because all along, I wished I could fight for my future, but I was just too absorbed in my own self-loathing. But right now, there's something in Hanyuan's eyes which tells me that I cannot continue to do this. Self-pity, self-hatred. Break free from these vices and embrace the future.
Thank you.
I don't know why, but I feel a strong urge to cry, to say thank you, but my voice is stuck in my throat again. Not because I'm a coward, but because I'm silly. A silly girl who can't bear to say thank you to the people she cares about.
Hey, Ewan.
Let's be friends again. I want to say that, but I can't, because I'm silly.
Silly. Turn around.
Okay. As long as you don't stick a sticker on my back or something.
What? I turn. I know that Hanyuan is behind me, but why does the field suddenly feel so empty?
Hey, Ewan?
No reply.
I'm turning around.
I whirl around. Nobody there. As if there hasn't been anyone there at all. As if nothing really happened. Was it just a dream? Because I was sure the impossible just happened. I actually realized that I wasn't a bad person, and that I deserve to have a good future too. And I think I still do.
And Ewan.
I break into a run. I don't know why I'm running in the opposite direction of where Hanyuan appeared to be going. It just felt right. I run and run until I see my apartment building. That was very quiet.
Uncle Chang?
Well, he's voicing it, it's just that you probably can't hear it.
I was talking to Han Ewan. But that's...
My voice trails away as I notice Uncle Chang's skeptical look.
That is a rather crude joke to make, please.
She's dead, isn't she? A reprimanding voice. A cold voice. Where's options? Music volume. Down. I like the music though, that's the problem. There. A cold voice. Uncle Chang has never scolded me before.
Pardon?
I don't get it. But something is wrong. I run. Something is wrong, but I don't know that. I don't know what. I run and run until I reach Hanyuan's apartment. The door is ajar. I hear a woman sobbing. There are way too many shoes by the doorstep. I look in. I hear a voice I don't recognize. I see a man wearing a blue uniform. My chest tightens. What are the police doing here? I couldn't really catch the words, but...
Dad, Hanyuan.
Hanyuan's mother's voice. Pained, filled with regret.
Very unfortunate. I understand if you need some time to yourself, Mrs. Lee. It was an unfortunate accident. Very unfortunate. We believe she must have been on the way home from school when she fell from the platform.
No way. Hanyuan is nowhere in sight. She has no siblings, she lives with her mother. So could Miss Lee be talking about her? Is he gonna say it? Guess not. Glance at my watch. 9:45 p.m. I met Hanyuan only less than 30 minutes ago. Then that means...
No way.
I bolt. Again, I run as fast as I can. I don't know where I am running. Again. I run down the stairs, almost tripping. And as if it were a dream, I see her again.
And Ewan!
I finally understand just how much effort, just how much desperation my old friend had put in her last moments just to see me again. Me, someone who isn't worthy of anything. Me, someone who isn't worthy of her. I realize now. Hanyuan has no more future, and because of that she wants to give that to me. A future. A glorious future.
Clarice.
She turns, a smile plastered on her face, as if expecting me. Her clothes are stained with blood. It is a pitiful sight. The dead girl who had died at least 5 hours before this had clung on to life, just for the friend that she cared for so deeply. I can't reach her. She just seems so far away. I can taste my own salty tears. I only just realized what a fool I've been. She smiles so gently. She says something, but I can't hear it. I think it is, thank you. Nighttime. So blissful, so calm, so free. The wind is cold, but my hands are colder. The tighter my grip on hope is, the more pitiful it becomes. My hope turns into a knife digging into the wounds of my heart. Yet the pain is ultimately worth it. I smile, and wipe my blood and tears on my blazer sleeve. Thank goodness blood does not show up well on a piece of fabric with a shade as dark as this. My borrowed time is over, but at least there will be no more regrets. If I leave stains on the ground, it is going to be troublesome. Clutching my hands to my chest, I sigh happily. I can barely feel the cold wind. In the middle of this cold place, I am fulfilled. Speaking of which, when was the last time I've run this happily? It must have been a lifetime ago. Back when I was still an innocent, happy child. There is nothing to worry about. No dark feature lying in wait for me. No darkness, no pain. Just the calm notes of serenity, melting into pure joy. How I miss those days. Now that I have completed my task, I can simply submerge myself into the sweet, sweet nostalgia. After all, there is no more future lying in wait for me anymore. I am happy. Really happy, Clarice. Thank you. I am glad I finally managed to talk to you. I'm going. With that, I pulled the green bow tie from the collar of my uniform and let it fall to the ground. Have you ever heard the story of the green ribbon? Anyone has insistently reminded me of that childhood fable from my youth. One day, a boy met a beautiful girl. She was the loveliest girl he's ever seen, but there was something peculiar about her. For she always wore a green ribbon around her neck. They got to know each other, and eventually got married. They lived long and happily until the day when the woman fell ill and was about to die. She told her husband that she would finally reveal the truth about her ribbon. With that, she pulled it loose around from her neck, and her head rolled off onto her lap. A girl who lived on borrowed time, for all the sake of one wish. On the ground of where Hanyuan once stood was a green ribbon. Slowly, I walk towards the last memento. I take it in my hands. They are shaking despite my will. I will never forget you, Hanyuan. I will never forget what you've done for me. And there it is. The end. So I'm thinking that's a good ending. Do I have to... Oh. Corin, Anna. My Apple. Corin. Britt Meyer, directed voices. Okay, a doxographist. Stephanie Quinn. Uncle Cheng, Brian McManus. Austin L. Alberto. Britt Meyer. Lumen Ostrom. Sentive. Base novel. Renby. Thank you. Oh, extras. Oh, I'm not done. How many years has it been? It's been a while, Hanyuan. Clutching a ribbon of green in one hand and a briefcase in another, I approach the gravestone. In respect, I bow my head. And then I lift it and smile. In memory of everything.
Thank you, Hanyuan.
Everything. If it weren't for you, you truly were my best friend. A proper job, a proper future, I owe it all to you. For that day when you approached me, even though you shouldn't have been there. Was it a dream? Was it just an illusion? Perhaps it was, but I want to believe that Hanyuan really did wish to come back for one last time. And this ribbon shall remind me that it really did happen. and that's why I'll say it again.
Thank you. And farewell.
Okay, let's check out the extras. I think, was that the epilogue I just did? Yeah, it was. Oops, sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. CG gallery. Oh, I've got a locked image. There's flashbacks. I've got all the flashbacks. On you on. Okay. Music room. I like the music. Okay, guys. Well, this was Ribbon of Green. I really liked it. I liked how the choice mattered, I guess. It actually did matter. And I don't know. I kind of don't want to go for the other ending because it's obviously the bad ending, and kind of want to leave it with this good ending in mind. And yeah, I really like it. I recommend playing it if you want to go through and get the other ending, because I'm not going to play that one. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.